Although that isn't really relevant to what we're talking about. Now we're going to use the Sibilas at the end of this to come up with a conclusion for the week. Now, let's see what we've got here. In the first position, we're going to ask about money, the financial sector of your life. Taurus, are we looking? What are we looking at as far as money, finance, security? We've got the Hermit, and we've got Strength. So Taurus, I think Taurus is probably the most resilient of all the signs. I have never met a Taurus that goes from job to job to job. I think when Taurus finds what they love or what they do best, they stick with it. They improve, they grow, they develop more skills, but they don't waver usually from that position. So I think, as true to course with Taurus, you're sticking very much faithfully to who you are, staying resilient in what you do, developing more skills. Every day you refine those skills even more, but you're very devoted, you're dedicated to what you do, and you pretty much just stay strong. And I like that energy coming through for you. So we know that with work, you're pretty much holding your own, staying true to form. This is Taurus. This is what you do. So I think for you guys, for the most part, work, career, you're pretty much holding firm to what it is that you do best. Now, in the home and personal realm, we've got the Three of Swords and the Seven of Cups. So, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising. Guys, home, personal space, your personal life, dating maybe, marriage possibly. For whoever I'm talking to directly, you're strong at work. That's where you do your best. It's where you're most resilient. It's where you hold up with the most power. But when it comes to love, when it comes to the personal, there's always kind of this heartbreak going on around you. It's as if when it comes to personal, it's hard for love to break through in your life. It's just, for some of you, it's really hard to come to that point. And again, I'm going to say for Taurus here, again, you've got this sadness, this disappointment, and maybe when it comes to love, you're just confused, fed up. You don't know what to do. You don't know who to care about. You don't know how to attract love into your life. Well, maybe that's where spirit message is coming through for you. Maybe you need to pay attention and listen to what spirit is trying to tell you where your love life is concerned. Because when it comes to home and personal feelings and personal situations, it feels like you're confused. You don't really know how to move forward. Maybe you live alone. Maybe you don't want to live alone anymore. Maybe you're missing someone. I think that there's a lot of focus here on a disappointment in your life. In the next position, let's see what your focus is. Where are you keeping your focus, Taurus? The Queen of Wands and the King of Cups. Well, there's a focus on what could be a fire sign, what could be a water sign, maybe a combination of both. But your primary focus is really, I think part of what you're going through now is doing what you do best and accepting your love situation for what it is now. I really think it's more about an acceptance of where you are in life and how love is producing itself, and having to be satisfied with whatever it is that you have right now. Because I think you've got too much confusion and a little bit of disappointment, or maybe a lot of disappointment. Maybe the disappointment is within yourself. Maybe you're disappointed in your own direction. I hate to say it about my earth signs, but they really do have difficulties achieving romantic levels. There's seems to always be a hurt, a pain, something there that develops that just does not feel right. And I think you're focusing on being satisfied with what you have and with what comes your way. Because I think some of you have just sort of given up to the fact that maybe love isn't going to come in. And you're just sort of satisfied and happy with what you can experience from day to day. What do your surroundings and outsiders and their influences look like for Taurus? The Three of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles. So there are group associations in your surroundings. Whether or not you're taking part in them, I don't know, because we have this very solidly positioned person of independence. They're more inclined to stay in their own space. They're more inclined to appreciate their own life just the way it is. They find happiness in whatever they have. But I think there may be a group of outsiders around you who are maybe causing you to reflect on happiness now. Maybe whatever is surrounding you is giving you pause and making you really think about your own life right now. It almost feels like, life is giving you some pretty decent things where your career is concerned, but it hasn't really given you the best shot in life where love is at. And you're thinking maybe that could have been your own doing. And you choosing almost to stay in your own space and not really participate in the group activities. I think you're leaning away from the group activities unless the group activities is a close-knit group of friends. I don't see you going around big groups of strangers. I think I see you either spending time alone or being with those who are extremely close to you. Now, let's look at what is next for you, Taurus. The King of Wands and the Chariot. So, I have to wonder, number one, if you're considering making a physical move in your life. Are you considering changing addresses? I think there's a situation you already have your eyes on. Maybe you're waiting for the right opportunity to move in a certain direction. But it feels to me like you've got your eye on movement in one way or another. There feels like there's a choice for some of you as to whether or not you want to stay in a current situation or you want to move away and maybe find satisfaction somewhere else. It's directly across from all of this heartbreak in the home. And so I have to wonder if this connection is here. That what's next for you is actually finding a new direction where your home is concerned. Because our king here is looking right at the movement with the Chariot. So is he really moving towards something new? Are you choosing a new direction, Taurus? You may very well be. And it may very well be the next step that you take. Now, what might be your objectives right now? Your objectives currently, the Ace of Pentacles, to earn more money. And I knew it right there. As soon as I saw these two very powerful cards of dedication and strength, I knew that that was coming for you. And I also knew that the devil was going to be coming up behind you. Now, this is you in your own element, Taurus. This is you controlling your own life and being very much in control of your destiny here. So this is saying, keep going the way you're going. Now, your personal life, I don't know if I see anything coming up in your life. I do, as far as love goes. We'll get a closer look at love over at my Vimeo channel in a minute, because this is really very much about what you're developing through your career, your focus on career, and how it's really kind of ruling over what's been happening in your personal life. Because I think your personal life has been a bit of heartache or disappointment. And like I said, I think some of that disappointment is within you, Taurus, because you're never really happy with anything you do. I know, Taurus, you're never happy with your accomplishments. And if there have been failures in love, I know you've taken the burden of the failure on yourself, usually. Okay, I'm doing 3 cards for the result here. Okay, let's take a look at the result. You're strong. You're in your own element. You're pretty damn powerful right here. I think you're choosing to spend time alone if you're very focused on your work, if you're single especially, because I think some of you may be recently single because of your personal situation here. But I think that, I think you're standing strong in your own power at this time, even though you're going through a bit of rough water where a personal situation has been concerned. Now, the culmination for you, the Giovini Fanciulla, the Messaggere, and the Gran Signore. So you've got a bright new beginning with a new love situation with this young romantic lover female. She's usually the first time, the virgin, and maybe you're looking at someone in a new way. The Gran Signore very much is a Romeo. He's a master of romance. And so if you're looking to attract something right now, I think all you have to do is kind of reach out and say it. If you make the communication to someone about attracting something new in, especially with romance, because that feels to me like where you're having the most difficulty right now, Taurus. If you just speak the word and say it out loud to whoever it is that you're trying to send a message to or looking to deliver some sort of a opportunity to, I think you need to sort of master the situation. Be the Romeo. Take charge. I think this is really the invitation to romance someone, to be romantic, to whisper the words that a partner wants to hear. And so I think what this is saying is work is okay, but if you're wanting to attract love in, you may have to take charge of the situation. I think if you're waiting for something brand new, whether you're male or female, the real message here is that you, Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising, may be the one who has to take control of that romantic energy and to turn it into what you want. And that's what I've got for this week for you.